What is going on there, YouTube? Welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we are going to jump back over to DC Comics and continue our coverage over Supergirl in the New 52. Now, this picks up where the last video left off. Remember that in our last video, she had a run-in with Superman, who told her that her home world was destroyed, but she had a hard time believing that because the last time she saw Superman was on Krypton and he was a baby, except now he's a grown adult and older than her, meaning that she was kept in some kind of stasis. Then she had a run-in with another character known as Simon Tycho, who was trying to capture her as a way to study her. She was able to escape, but found out he was holding something called a sunstone, a piece of tech from Krypton that gives someone the ability to record a message on and give it to someone else to hear. She realized it must have come from her father, but unfortunately it was cracked and so unable to play. She doesn't trust Superman because she thinks it must be some kind of trick, so she decided to fly back to the spot where Krypton used to be at, hoping that Superman was wrong about Krypton being destroyed. And this is where we are going to begin the next storyline for Supergirl, where she meets the World Killers. So I do hope you enjoy today's comic book video. And if you do, please hit that like button down below and subscribe. But here we go. Now, we do pick up with Supergirl right now flying through space. She's hoping that she can find Krypton very soon and hopefully prove to Superman that he was wrong. Now, while she is flying through space, we do see that someone is watching her very closely, but we have no idea who it is. But we will find out very soon down the road. But while she is flying through space, that is the moment she does find a space gate. Now, of course, this gate will take her to a different part of the universe. And so with that, she believes if she goes through this gate, it could possibly take her to where Krypton was at. And so she does go through the gate, hoping to find Krypton. Except when she goes through the gate, she does end up in a different part of the universe, but not where she wanted to go. Because right off the bat, she sees a blue sun. And that is completely different from Earth and Krypton, because on Krypton, they had a red sun. But either way though, with her finding this blue sun, she begins to see a city flying around the blue sun. And with that city flying around the blue sun, she believes she must go towards it to investigate, to learn how in the world is a random city able to float in space around a sun. And that is the moment she realized that she's in Argo City. Somehow Argo City, her hometown from Krypton, is somehow flying in space by itself. And so she is so confused on how in the world that is even possible. But then as she's flying around, that is the moment she realized that no one lives here at all. So somehow this whole city from Krypton was able to break away from Krypton, and now it is flying in space by itself perfectly fine. But on top of that, everyone who used to live in this town is completely gone, and she has no idea where they're at and how this is even possible. But that is the moment she decided to go back to her old house, to go into her dad's lab and use his tech as a way to activate the Sunstone, to hopefully learn what kind of message was left behind to her on that stone. Now that is the moment where she pressed play on the Sunstone, and this begins one of the hardest moments for her, because as soon as she pressed play, that is the moment her father appears, and her father tells her, hey listen, if you are listening to this message, that means Krypton was destroyed. And she was really hoping that Superman was wrong. But of course, he wasn't. And so now she's feeling even worse because now her home world is gone. But then the question is, how in the world is Argo City able to survive in space right now? And that is the moment in the message her father says that he was able to create a force field as a way to save Argo City from being destroyed, hoping to save as many lives as he can. Now, right before he was actually able to explain more things that could possibly help Supergirl and Superman out down the road, that is when someone in the message actually stabs him. And she can see it because this is a video message. And so with her seeing that, she's seeing how her father died, meaning that he died before Krypton actually exploded. And the message ends there with her father's death. And then the Sunstone just breaks apart. And so the last thing she had from her father is now gone. And the last thing she had from her father was when he died. And that is so hard for her to deal with. She begins to go crazy. She begins to fly around the town to break things apart because she needs to release her anger. She just saw the worst thing in the world happen to her, watching her father die in a video. And that is the moment where Supergirl is confronted by a character known as Rain. Now, before Rain is actually able to explain to Supergirl who she is and why she is here for, Supergirl begins the process of actually attacking Rain. Now, you do have Rain being able to stop Supergirl because she knows why Supergirl is attacking her for, because Supergirl believes that Rain must have been the one to have killed Supergirl's father and everyone else in Argo City. But Rain says no, it wasn't her, that when she came here to this planet, everyone was already gone. And so now the question is again, what happened to the people of Argo City? If Rain came here and they were already gone, meaning that no one was here, what happened to the people of Argo City and who killed Supergirl's father? But that is when you have Rain begin the process of actually asking Supergirl, has she ever heard the term world killers? And for Supergirl, she's kind of like, yes, I have. They were weapons that were banned eons ago because they were too dangerous to be alive. And that is the moment where you have Rain say, well, I'm one of them. I am a world killer. Kryptonians made me. And that is the moment where you have Rain kind of give a hint that Supergirl's father could have possibly had a hand in the creation of world killers, which of course makes Supergirl very angry because she believes that Rain must know something about her father and his experiments. But Rain stops Supergirl very easily, and the reason why she was able to stop Supergirl so easily is because right now Supergirl is near a blue sun, and with her being near a blue sun, that means her powers are fading away, because remember, when it comes to Kryptonians, they get their powers from a yellow sun. So Superman and Supergirl get their powers from a yellow sun. But with Supergirl being near a blue sun, she was able to lose to Rain so easily. But that is the moment you have Rain say, listen, the only thing I know was when I woke up in my chamber, I broke out and I know who created me. It was Kryptonians. And I was able to find different clues that led me to Argo City. But when I came to Argo City, everyone was dead and gone, like your father. But on top of that, I was able to find more information about me and the rest of the world killers. Now, she does say that world killers are creatures taken away from different planets as a way for Kryptonians to run different kinds of experiments to make them powerful weapons to be used in different kinds of wars. But of course, like Supergirl said, they were banned eons ago because they were too powerful. But here comes the big thing though. Rain believes there's more information about her and the rest of the world killers on Earth. And the reason why, because she did find some data that did talk about Earth on it. And so she believes she can find more information about her and the world killers on Earth. And that's her next stop, is to go to Earth to hopefully learn more about her. But before she does that, she was able to stick Supergirl against a wall, and Supergirl can't get out because right now she's losing her powers. And you have Rain said Supergirl is going to die here. And the reason why, because right now when it comes to Argo City, it is falling apart and it is going to fall right into the blue sun. And that should kill Supergirl as Rain and the rest of the world killers go back to Earth to hopefully learn more about her and the rest of the world killers. But when we jump into the next chapter for Supergirl, we actually see right off the bat that Supergirl was being trained by a robot that was getting her ready for one of her more physical trials so she'll be able to graduate. Because remember, we learned this in our last video. When it came to Supergirl, right before Krypton was about to be destroyed, she was actually getting ready to graduate soon. She was getting ready to finish all of her studies. But of course, that is when Krypton had exploded, and when she woke up, well, she was on Earth. But either way though, you do have her right now being trained by this robot, but then her father steps in. And this is one of the biggest moments for her that she remembers, because her father basically tells her that no matter what, no matter how many times you fall down, you fail, whatever, you always get back up. You always keep pushing forward. And that is what you need to do. You need to get back up and keep pushing forward. But of course, with her powers fading away, she's still stuck against the wall, and she doesn't have enough strength to actually take the sword off the wall to release her. And so right now it seems like she's going to give up so that she could actually die with her city. Just finally die and hopefully join her parents in the afterlife. And that is the moment where we come to find out that Rain was serious about coming to Earth to hopefully learn more about the world killers. And the reason why I say that is because when we jump over to Earth, we actually see her beginning the process of attacking New York City. And she tells everyone there, hey, go ahead and tell the people in power to go ahead and assemble their forces to try to stop us, the world killers, from destroying your city. But the reason why she only came here is because she found so much information about Earth back on Argo City, and she believes there must be something important here on Earth. But getting back to Supergirl, who kind of had decided that she's going to go ahead and die with Argo City, that is when she is visited by the spirits of her parents. And this is kind of a cool moment because it's kind of Supergirl realizing that her parents would not want her to give up. Because remember, her father always says, every time you fail, every time you fall down, you always get right back up. And you continue to fight for what you believe you should fight for. And so right now, is Supergirl kind of replaying that message right now in her head? But at the same time, you do have her being able to pull the sword out of the wall, which does release her and does give her the ability to fly away from Argo City. Yes, she has to say goodbye to the last piece of Krypton, but now she knows she must go back to Earth, protect Earth like her cousin does, but to also stop the world killers from destroying the Earth. Now we do jump back over to Rain, and we actually see Rain right now on Earth in New York just wreaking havoc. Yes, you have the army there trying to stop her, but no matter what they throw at her, she's able to just block their attacks and continue her rampage across New York City. Now that is the moment you actually have Supergirl appear and punch Rain across the city. Now Rain realized that Supergirl is strong again, which means that Supergirl is back at full power. But Rain realized that when it comes to Supergirl, it has to be the yellow sun that's giving her her powers. But either way, Rain does not care. And the reason why she does not care is because Rain did not come alone. She did say there were more than one world killers, and that is the moment she reveals to Supergirl that she brought the rest of the world killers with her to Earth, and now Supergirl must fight 4 different world killers by herself. Now, I could sit down and actually explain about every single world killer, or I could explain what is happening in this chapter of the story, but honestly, I want to focus on Supergirl because this is Supergirl's hero moment. Let's not forget, when Supergirl first came to Earth, she did not have a hero moment. She crashed on Earth, she met Superman, a man who was claiming to be her cousin, only to find out that their home world was also destroyed. On top of that, she met her first villain who was trying to capture her. She got away from him, but then even in this video, she still has not had a hero moment. And so here she is now having a hero moment, trying to protect the innocent people of New York against the world killers. Now, if you are wondering where are the rest of the heroes of Earth, well, they can't come here because right now there is a force field around New York. And this is the same force field that Supergirl's father made to protect Argo in space. And so right now, no one is able to leave and no one is able to come in the force field. And so with that, that means Supergirl is the only one who could fight against the world killers, which she does. And this battle does go on for a good while. But of course, it's because Supergirl is still new to fighting. Yes, she did have some training, but that training happened such a long time ago. And so right now she has to relearn how to fight, but also learn how to fight like a hero, because right now she must protect a bunch of innocent people. And so like I said, at first she does get her butt kicked, but once she's able to actually think things through and think of ways to get rid of the world killers, she actually wins the fight. Now, she does not defeat every single one of these world killers. What she did was she used one of the poisons from one world killer on another one, and that made Rain stop because she realized if they don't get that world killer some kind of medical help, he could possibly die. And Rain does not want to lose any of her world killers at all. But she does tell Supergirl that she will be back. And when she does, she is going to take out Supergirl. But once Rain leaves, honestly, this is Supergirl realizing that this is going to be her home now. Earth is. And she is going to use her powers to be a hero. And honestly, I like this story as a way to kind of follow up our last video. And honestly, I'm hyped to read the rest of the New 52 Supergirl run. I'm hoping it's good because honestly, y'all told me it was amazing. But with that being said, I do hope you enjoyed today's comic book video. And if you do, please hit that like button down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoyed today's comic book video.